Canelo Alvarez's next fight is off. The much anticipated undisputed clash between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant is reportedly off after contract talks collapsed. ESPN reporter Mike Coppinger believes that the fight is 100% dead. But before we start, don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help the channel. Originally, the fight was supposed to take place on September 18th before contract negotiations stalled, with IBF champion Caleb Plant stating that his side, Premier Boxing champions, had bent over backwards to make the undisputed fight happen. Obviously, that's Plant's side of the story and we're yet to hear from Team Canelo. However, you can safely assume that the fight won't happen in September. Whether the fight will happen eventually, maybe towards the end of the year, we'll have to wait and see. But a new challenger has entered discussions to fight Canelo in September. Dmitry Bivol is the current WBA light heavyweight champion and looks set to replace Plant against Canelo. Bivol's team have received contact from Team Canelo over negotiations to the fight, according to Bivol's promoter. But according to Eddie Hearn, the Canelo Plant fight is not dead as described by ESPN. He believes there's still a possibility that the fight happens on September 18th. Now this might be wishful thinking from Eddie, considering the talk from Team Plant suggesting that Canelo insisted on being paid the same amount for the September 18th fight, even if Caleb had to pull out with an injury or illness. Canelo still wanted the $40 million purse, but to be fair to Canelo, he kinda deserves the $40 million purse whether he faces Plant or someone else, because it's not like the average casual boxing fan are paying a pay-per-view to see Caleb Plant fight Canelo. They're paying to watch Canelo. The opponent he faces doesn't really matter in terms of generating revenue, as long as they're bringing a belt. Canelo could fight Bivol or Beterbiev instead of Plant and earn just as much money. Eddie Hearn is still eager to get the Canelo Plant fight made for September 18th, and he's willing to wait another 48 hours, giving Team Plant time to cool off before negotiations resume. So, I mean, it seems like a messy situation, but hopefully Hearn has a plan so that we can see Canelo Plant fight undisputed in September. Hearn did suggest that if the Plant fight isn't made, he's ready to make a deal with Dmitry Bivol. As mentioned earlier in the video, Bivol is the WBA champion at light heavyweight, and it's unclear whether Canelo will move up to fight Bivol or Bivol will move down to super middleweight. According to Caleb Plant, he already agreed to demands made by Canelo, such as a one-way rematch clause, so other than that, it's a mystery what could be holding up talks. There's been some speculation on social media that the PBC wants Canelo to agree to an additional fight with them in exchange for getting a match against Plant, which, if that's the case, I completely understand Canelo pulling out of the fight. He wants to be a free agent with no strings attached to any promoter or network, and he has the leverage to do that after all of the things that he's achieved in the sport and the money that he generates from his fights. But let me know your thoughts on this whole situation in the comment section. Is Canelo Alvarez ducking Caleb Plant? Let me know.